everybody, welcome back to Art a la Carte. In today's video, I'm doing a speed drawing or painting of a Copic piece that I actually did a couple of months ago and recorded it, but then I never posted it. So I thought, hey, I would post this video, and I was trying to think, what could I talk about while we looked at the speed drawing, and I thought, hey, I haven't done a Q&A in quite a while, so let's do that. Last night on Instagram, I asked you guys if you had any questions, and you gave me several to answer today. But if there's a question that you have that you've always wanted to ask me, or that I didn't get a chance to answer if you left a question on Instagram, you can post those questions in the comment section below in this video, and I'll do my best to answer them, or if I get enough of them, maybe I'll do a part 2.
What do you do when you want to give up?
Now, actually, there's quite a few questions that are similar to this. What do you do when you want to give up? Or what do you do when you have artist block? Or what do you do when you just burn out? So I'm going to lump all of those kind of into one. I went through an artist slump, which is different than an artist block. So an artist block is you don't know what to draw. Your inspiration is blocked. So this works for that too. But an artist slump is everything you try to draw just doesn't turn out. It's like you forgot how to draw. It's so frustrating knowing what you want to draw and excited to draw, but you just, like, your hands don't want to work. So whether you are artist block, artist slumping, lacking creativity, one of the biggest things I can say is it's okay to take a break. I don't mean not art forever. Like, don't just stop drawing for like a year or 10. But it's okay to take the day off and not draw. Or for me, I actually took a week off and just didn't draw, which is odd for me because I draw every single day. But I did other creative things. I sewed, I worked on my writing, I enjoy creativity in other areas. And then come back to it. You know, try again in a day or two. But let yourself know, it's okay. It's okay to take a break.
What is your favorite animal?
I have so many favorite animals. I love animals. But probably my favorite animal is a cat. And I love fostering kittens for my local animal shelter. So during the spring is kitten season. Well, actually, kitten season's kind of all year round, but spring it heightens up, and so a lot of shelters are overrun with kittens. And because kittens need a little extra care, they often will have people volunteer to foster them. So you get to take kittens home, love them, socialize them, get them all cute, and then when they're old enough to get fixed, then they can go back and get adopted. If you never knew that was a thing that you could do, call your local animal shelter and ask them if they have a fostering program.
Are you still doing the YouTube Artist Collective?
Oh, that's a good question. For those of you who don't know, the YouTube Artist Collective was a group of artists that every month or so we would have a chosen theme that each of us would create a piece based on that theme. And it was fantastic to see how different artists would take different themes and to watch their creative process. And it's really, really fun. But we haven't done anything for a long time. And there hasn't been an official decision whether or not we're not doing the YouTube Artist Collective. So I guess officially I can just say we're on hiatus, and I don't know.
How many art videos have you made?
So this, I had to actually go look this up because I had a guess of how many videos I had made, but I wasn't sure. So I had to look it up. Before I tell you, in the comment section below, give your best guess. How many videos do you think I have made on this channel? Don't peek, no peeking, no researching first. Give me your best guess. So I'll give you a little criteria. For a long time, I was making 3 videos a week. I'm not doing 3 videos a week now. If I can get 1 video out a week, I think I am doing awesome. But it's more like 1 every other week right now. Well, let's journey to the past. History lesson about my YouTube channel. Posted my first YouTube video on January 5th, 2012. So this channel is almost 10 years old. And the video was how to sketch a cartoon girl. So if you are interested in watching a very low resolution video with horrible lighting and probably bad audio as well, be my guest and you can go and watch that video. So over the years, and I guessed a couple of hundred, I was like 500, maybe 600 videos. That's a lot. That's a lot of videos. But it's not how many videos I've done. I have done 1,070 videos on this channel. Holy cow, that's awesome. if any of you have watched all 1,000 videos, you get like the platinum gold star of awesomeness for that.
What is your favorite go-to subject when practicing or warming up?
If I sit down to draw something and I'm not really thinking about drawing, but I'm, doodling, it almost 100% always will be a face. Love drawing faces because my favorite thing to draw overall is character design. I love designing characters, so I just automatically draw faces or eyeballs. Love drawing eyes.
How do you deal with jealousy towards other artists, particularly younger ones?
I can't say that I've actually ever been jealous of another artist. There have been a few artists that have made me upset, but it's not because of their art career. It's because of how they treat people. I guess the biggest thing I would be jealous about, especially with younger artists, is the resources that we have now. I wish we had those back when I was first starting my art journey, like in 1980, 1990s. If we had YouTube back then, holy cow. See, back in my day, unless you had a school that had an art program, you were on your own. There wasn't a lot of art options out there. And I was homeschooled, so I was totally on my own. My only art teachers was Bob Ross and Mark Kistler's Imagination Station on PBS. That was it. The library had a small selection of art books, but not a lot. So basically, you just drew, and maybe you'd have a friend who could draw something, and you went, wow, I love how, and you would kind of encourage each other, but that was it. If I had the resources to just look up how to draw a cat, and there would be 300 different videos I could watch on how to draw a cat, I just kind of wonder where my art would be now if I would have had those resources then. But wonder or not, we have these resources now, and I'm going to use them to the best of my ability.
How do you find inspiration for an art piece?
I get inspiration for art all over the place, but I think the three places that I find inspiration the most is photographs, especially that of nature. Ooh, love nature pictures. 2 is other artists' artwork. Anytime I can purchase art or art books from artists, I do that, and I have a huge collection of it. And so if I'm just not inspired to do art, I'll look through their art, and usually their creative process encourages me in my creative process and helps, get me into wanting to create a piece. And then while I'm actually working on the piece, something that's super inspirational to me is listening to music. Love music. Those are 3 of the places that I find inspiration.
How did you get started as a professional artist?
Back in January of 2012, I posted a video. My definition for professional artists comes from when your art creates enough financial revenue that you can support yourself. Then I believe you're a professional artist, because that's your profession, right? So while it didn't happen in 2012, that's when it started. So I was an art teacher, and I taught weekly art classes to groups, and when students missed the class, I would often create a video talking about what I had taught on so that they could watch that video. And what I found was that when I posted those videos, other people than my art students were watching them, and pretty soon more and more and more people were watching them. And let's see if I can find the video. On October 26th, 2013, so a year later, so I've been posting videos for a year. I did a video on how to draw a horse. I think it was a palomino, and I decided to go ahead and apply for monetization, which is how you make money on YouTube. So you apply for monetization, and then per view you get a certain amount of revenue. And so that was the first time I did it, and I didn't think that I would make any money because I knew you had to have tons of people watching your videos. But no, I just took off after that. So really it's because of YouTube that I was able to become a professional artist, because I could create videos, I could create art for videos, and then that art could then go into making prints and commissions and things like that, which then led on to other avenues of making revenue as a professional artist. So that's because of the YouTubes.
How can I stay determined to draw when I see other artists better than me?
This is something that a lot of artists, almost every artist, struggles with on constant basis, is comparing ourselves to other artists and criticizing ourselves because our art isn't as good as theirs. So there are 2 things that can help you with this. First is use that artist as a motivation instead of a criticization. Use it positively. Use that force for good. not for evil. So instead of becoming frustrated or downing on yourself, use it to inspire yourself to work harder. Use them as inspiration. Know that that artist has spent a lot of time working to hone their skills, and it's not like you can just magically poof yourself into an artist that's really good. You're going to have to spend the time and the effort and the hours and years of practicing to get your skills to that success. Now with that comes part 2, which is every artist is unique. And while you may appreciate that artist and you want your art to look like that artist, it shouldn't. You don't want your art to be a carbon copy of somebody else. You want to be unique, your own artist. So while I have gone through phases, if you look through my sketchbooks as a young artist, I had my definite Disney phase, I had my definite Miyazaki phase, I had my definite Mary Engelbreit phase, where my art really reflected art styles or artists that inspired me. Hopefully now when you see my art, you'll see it and go, hey, that's Valerie's art. I recognize it, or some people just know me as Art a la Carte, and that my art can stand on its own. I want to try never to be just a rendition of some other artist. So allow yourself to appreciate those artists, and if you see my walls in my studio, it's covered with other artists' art that I really love and I appreciate, and I think their art style is fantastic. But I don't want to try to compare and make my art to be theirs. I want to be unique, and you should too.
What is your biggest inspiration?
I already kind of talked a little bit about this as far as what inspires me to do art, but I wanted to answer this specific question because being an artist, specifically a professional artist, is a lot of work and not a guarantee of financial success. You create art because you enjoy it, but where is my biggest inspiration to continue to enjoy art? Well, aside from the actual creation process, which I love doing, my inspiration to continue being a professional artist, continue to create YouTube videos, to continue to sell art, comes with my interactions with others. I love it when you guys send me a message saying that maybe in a small way, something in my art videos or something that I created inspired or affected you positively in your own artistic journey. That is huge for me because when I was a young artist, I had stopped to notice me and to help me, and because of what they did, I am the artist that I am today. And just to know that I can be that for somebody else is huge. I also love it when I create a piece and I have an emotional attachment to that piece, and then when I'm at an art convention and someone buys a print or even the original of my pieces and they have an emotional attachment or connection to that piece, is so amazing that something that started off as a blank piece of paper can bring a feeling to a person. That's huge for me. So it's really people. People are my biggest inspirations.
How do you approach learning to draw something new without fear of failure?
Failure is the process of learning. When you draw something or create something and you mess up and it doesn't work out, it's because it's the step in the process. It's like when you want to learn to do a sport. You're not going to be great at it. You're going to have to stretch your muscles and work your endurance up, and that's what art is. You're stretching and training your artistic talent, and you're not going to be as good at something that you just started. So messing up is part of the process, and embrace that and learn from it. If you guys could see the amount of failed pieces that I have, you would probably be mad at me because of all the trees that have been chopped down to create the paper that I made. So it's an investment. It's part of the process is failing.
Do I have goals for 2021?
My goal for 2021 has nothing to do with art per se. It's just to be kind to people.
Do you think it's important to use a reference photo in every picture?
If you are wanting to draw from life and have something look accurate, then yes, you need reference photos, especially if you want to do a study of something. So I often do hand studies, and I enjoy drawing hands, but I often realize that there's parts of the hand that I just don't realize that it works with. So looking at a picture to see how the knuckles bend and how the palm and the knuckles bend together and how the fingers can kind of curl around each other. Seeing those is so much better than trying to envision it in my head.
What is your favorite art supply?
So my top 3 favorite art supplies have been watercolor, color pencils, and Copics. So love that. I don't know, guys, if you've noticed, but the digital art world has exploded in the last few years. Like 5 years ago, if you wanted to be a digital artist, you had to have the Photoshop, and you had to have a Wacom, have some sort of tablet, probably a Wacom tablet. And if you had those things, you were like the cool artist on the block. But now the options for digital art and tablets are huge out there. I mean, even just people being able to draw on your phone or on your iPad, and the software that's out there. Holy cow, I don't even use Photoshop anymore. I use Clip Studio Paint, and that software, and hashtag not sponsored, is so good that when people sketch digitally, and I don't see them sketching, but I see the end product, I cannot tell you if that's digital or if it's traditional, because the software mimics an actual pencil so well. It's amazing. I love it. If you've never tried out digital art, I would recommend giving it a go. Speaking of going, I think I am at the end of my questions for today. Again, if I didn't get a chance to answer your question, or you've thought of a different question that you would like me to answer, feel free to type it in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the drawing that I did. If you like the line art, it's actually one of the free gifts that I gave out to my patrons. If you'd like to find out more about my Patreon account or follow me on social media, I'll have links to all of those in the description box below. If you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and then ring the notification bell. That way you'll get notified when I upload a new video, which hopefully will be sooner than 2 weeks, because I'm trying to be better, you guys, trying. So until next time, God bless you guys, keep being kind to one another, and we will see you in the next art video. Bye-bye!